Hi guys, welcome to The Drop. I'm Maha. With me today I have one of Pakistan's leading chefs, Basim Akhund. Hi Basim.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
So tell me, how did you end up being a chef?
So it's a long story. Let me talk about Pakistan a bit. So especially in Pakistan, if you talk about being a chef, it's usually looked down upon. I mean, that's the irony behind it. But the reason behind it is because in our history, usually parents over here, they believe that their children should be lawyers, engineers, doctors, and if nothing else, something, I'm very sorry, in media. But no one ever believes that, a chef could do well in Pakistan, because in our culture, a chef is someone who just cooks and they call him a bawarchi. So before this, I did my graduation in economics and finance and in LLB, but I realized one thing, that was not what I want to do all my life. I don't want to wake up every day 7 o'clock in the morning and sit on a chair and have a monotonous job. But on the other hand, it was very scary for me to think that I would become a chef. Why? Because becoming a chef isn't easy. But I must say that luck and God, they both played a part. And I kind of had this break with Hum TV, where I signed a show, and that made me the youngest chef in Pakistan to have a live show, which means I was cooking 5 times a week, every day on TV, making something new every day. And when I was in the industry, I realized that there's a lot of room and there's a lot of margin where you could do better in this industry. And that's when I realized that, you should do something. And apart from being a chef, there's one thing I believe in, that if you want to be successful, and if you're lucky enough, and if you see a gap in the market, and if you try filling that gap, you'll always stay at the top.
So speaking about gender roles in the culinary world, people's perception is that women should be the one cooking. What are your views on this?
So let me put it this way. It's not a woman's job to cook. It's everyone's job to cook. Now, if we talk about the culture in Pakistan, in India, or the subcontinent, which has other countries also, we realize that men in our culture are very sheltered by their parents, and the son of the house is the one who's going to, take the lineage forward. And they are taught some rules in which, the woman needs to do certain things and the man would not do the other things. But that's not how life should be spent. Life should be spent in a way in which both come a mile, they both help each other, and then they do things. So it's very sad that people think that it's a woman's job to cook, but it's not a woman's job to cook. Cooking comes from within. If you love what you do, in any other profession, you will succeed in life. And if you see towards the international culture, a lot of leading chefs are mostly men. Now, what is the reason behind it? The reason is because it's a very stressful job. As we say, if you have a restaurant, your first wife is your restaurant, not your own wife. Why? Because your restaurant will never give you time alone, but your wife might give you time alone. And if you realize this, that if you have to do a job which is 14 hours a day, every day waking up, getting grocery, and the best part is that you cannot take an off, even if you think your subordinates or your sous chef is ready to take the job properly. Because the thing is, now social media, the internet is so fast that you just give out one dish which is not up to the mark by mistake, because we're all humans, we're not gods, right?
Absolutely.
And if it goes out wrong, someone will tweet it, someone will post it, and that one recipe could, become a disaster for you. So now it's become even more difficult. Yes, social media has given you a chance to, put your restaurant or put your talent out there, but the fallback is people are actually facing a lot of, backlashes for what they're doing. And it's fair enough, see, because if you're making 100 recipes a day or 100 dishes a day, there is a minute chance that you could go wrong somewhere, because it's not automated. In the end, one dish is made by not one chef. There are other line chefs also over there, which means what happens is the head chef approves the dish, it goes out of the kitchen, but there are a lot of other steps which other people are doing. So it's a factory inside a small kitchen.
Some people believe that you need to go to a culinary school to become a chef or open an eatery. Would you agree with this?
I would agree to disagree, because let's take it from my view. So before I became a chef who was certified by Cordon Bleu, I was cooking myself for a lot of years. The only thing a culinary school teaches you, if you know how to cook already, is discipline. And without discipline, you can't do much. Now, if you look towards 1920s, Cordon Bleu or other culinary schools were not there. So where did all these leading restaurants get their chefs from? They got their chefs from people who were just cooking at home, because the grandmother's cooking was something that inspired people to open their own eateries. And as we say, a Michelin star restaurant never aims for that perfection. It aims for what they love cooking, and what they love cooking is what they've eaten when they were young. So a recipe is perfect if you take the first bite and you go back to that time where your mother or grandmother made it for you.
Yeah.
So a culinary school is important, but you need to have that passion inside you, because a culinary school cannot give you that passion or those extreme expertise that you need. It is, it is that time you put in, the hours you put in to become what you are, that will make you have your own restaurant or your own eatery, or maybe a catering for that matter.
Thanks for being on the show today, Basim.
Thank you for having me on your show.
That's all for today, guys. Stay tuned for next time. You are watching The Drop.
We're really excited to share fantastic content with you
on all the fun topics.
Please subscribe to our channel by
clicking on the subscribe button below.